Hello students, let us start with a new chapter, that is chapter 10 of your textbooks, circles. And the topics to be covered in this chapter are the introduction, circle and its related terms, a complete review, then angles subtended by a chord at a point, perpendicular from the center to a chord, circle through 3 points, equal chords and their distances from the center, angles subtended by an arc of a circle, cyclic quadrilaterals and summary. So we will start with the introduction as well as circle and its related terms. So first of all, what is a circle? If I tell you what is a circle, the first thing that you would do is you would draw something similar to this, right? So what basically a circle is, if I take a point over here such that all these points out here on this line, this circular line, are equidistant from this point, then this figure so formed is called a circle. This entire circular figure is a circle. So circle is a collection of points that is equidistant from one single point, and this single point is known as the center, and this distance from the center to the point on the circle is known as the radius. This point is known as the center. So what is a circle? It is a collection of points that are equidistant from one point. So how are these points equidistant? Suppose this is the one point that we are talking about, equidistant from, so this is that one single point that we are talking about, and these are the points that are equidistant from this point. That means if this length is 5 units, then this length will be 5 units, this length will be 5 units, and so on. All these lengths will be 5 units. So if you can see, there are infinite such lines that can be drawn. So for a circle with center, let's say O, it will have infinite number of radius. So the singular is radius and the plural is radii. Okay. So the center, it is the point in the interior of the circle that is equidistant from all points on the circle, right? So your center is equidistant from all these points on the circle. So this circle, this collection of lines is also known as the circumference. So the length of this circle is also known as the circumference. So I'll mention it over here. Circumference is also the perimeter of the circle. And what is your radius? The radius is the distance or the length from the center of the circle to any point on the circumference or a point on the circle. It is the length from center of circle. So circle is usually denoted by a round with a dot inside. So from the center of a circle to any point on the circle. Right? Now the radius will always be equal. For any given circle, the length of each radius is going to be equal, as I mentioned over here. Why? Because see, all these points are equidistant, right? That means if this is 5, this is 5, this is 5, all these are 5, each of 5 units. Therefore, each radii is going to be equal to each other. Then circular region. Now if you see, if I have a circle out here, circle is what? It is an enclosed figure, right? So it is dividing a plane. Now this blackboard is my plane. So the circle is dividing my plane into 3 sections. Which are the 3 sections? This inside section, right? The interior of the circle. Then this is the second section, that is the circle itself, and the third section is outside the circle. So this is called the interior region, this is called the circle, and this is called the exterior region of the circle. So now my circle is dividing this entire plane into 3 regions: the interior, the circle, and the exterior. The sum of the first and second region, that is the interior of the circle as well as the circle, form the circular region. So the circular region is made up of the interior of circle and the circle. So out of these 3 regions, the interior, the circle as well as the exterior, what makes up the circular region? These 2 regions, 1 and 2, that is the interior of the circle as well as the circle itself, that is the perimeter or the circumference. Now, what is a chord? If I take a circle and I mark any 2 points, this is the center, okay? I'll mark this as the center as O. If I take any 2 points P and Q and join these points P and Q, then this length PQ is known as the chord of the circle. So chord of the circle is the length between any 2 points on the circle. And how many chords can we have in a circle? We can have infinite number of chords. For example, this is one chord, this is another chord, this is another chord, this is another chord. We can have so many chords. All these are chords. So what is a chord? It is the length between any 2 points on the circle. So what about I take a point R and S such that the line RS passes through the center of the circle. Even this is a chord, but we give a special name to the chord that passes through the center of the circle. It is called the diameter. And diameter is always the longest chord of the circle, and there can be infinite number of diameters, because just like we can have infinite number of chords, we can have infinite number of diameters. See, right? And the length of your diameter is twice the radius. So what did we learn about diameter? It is a chord that passes through the center of the circle. It is the longest chord and length is 2 times the radius, and we can have infinite number of diameters, right, to a circle. So now if I have a circle with center O and I take any 2 points P, Q on the circle and I cut this circle, so what did I get? I got this part of a circle and this part of a circle. So each of these parts of the circle are known as arc. So if I take this entire circle into consideration, these 2 points P and Q are dividing my circle into 2 parts, right? So PQ, this long section PQ, and let's say this large section PRQ. So the piece of circle between any two points is known as an arc. And like you can see, there are two parts, which is why we have given a special name here for the longer arc, right? So this arc is known as the minor arc and this arc is known as the major arc for obvious reasons. So arcs, it is a piece of circle between any two points. We usually give a name to the major arc, like we just define a center, just define a point on the major arc so that you can differentiate, because if I just tell you PQ is the minor arc and PQ is the major arc, it would be difficult for you to differentiate. But if I say that PQ is the minor arc and PRQ is the major arc, then it makes more sense. So major arc, it's a piece of circle so I'll just erase this section, between any two points on circle. It's the larger piece of circle. It's the larger piece of circle between any two points of the circle, and it's the smaller piece of circle between any two points on the circle. So we learnt about the major arc and the minor arc. How about this as the center O? I have P and Q as the diameter. Now I am just erasing this section, but you know that P and Q passes through the center. So PQ is the diameter. So what about these two arcs? These two arcs, each of these will be called a semicircle because the end points are lying on the diameter. So a semicircle, it's an arc whose end points coincide with the endpoints of the diameter. So which are the three different types of arcs that we learnt? We learnt about the major arc, we learnt about the minor arc, and we learnt about the semicircle. Then we come to segment. Coming back to our chord out here. So this space out here between the circle and the chord is known as a segment. So this area between the chord of the circle, the chord and the circle is called segment. Just like major and minor arcs, we have major segment and minor segment, because I told you I took this chord PQ and this is my center, right? So this section, we are not just getting one section. So this is not just one area. This is the first one and there is this large section out here. So this is called the major segment and this is called the minor segment, and this section 2 is known as the major segment, right? So now let's learn about sectors. If I have a circle with center O and I take points PQ such that PQ is an arc and PRQ is also an arc, and if I join the center of the circle to these arcs, to the points on the arc, right, end points of the arc, then I get this as one section between O, P and Q, this entire section, and I get this entire section. So I get two regions, right? One is this larger region and one is this smaller region. So each of this region is known as a sector. The smaller region is called the minor sector and the larger region is known as the major sector. So what exactly is a sector? It's the region enclosed between two radii of circle joined to the endpoints of the arc. Of an arc. And just like we have minor arc, major arc, minor segment, major segment, we have major sector and minor sector. And coming back again to sector, if I get two semicircles, so what is a semicircle? PQ here, that means the two arcs PQ and this arc PQ are equal. If I draw this sector, then what do I get? I get semicircular region. See, this PQ is an arc, right? We are getting two equal arcs. When I join the radius to the endpoints of this arc, what do I get? I get two regions. One is this region and one is this region. So each region is known as a semicircular region. So a semicircular region is, it's the region formed, or rather it's a sector in which the endpoints of arc lie on the endpoints of diameter. So what all did we learn in circle and its related terms? We've learnt about what exactly a circle is, what is the center, the radius, the circular region, the chord, diameter, arcs, and related to arcs we had major arc, minor arc and semicircle. Then we learnt about segment as well as major segment, minor segment, then sector, major sector, minor sector and semicircular region. So revising again, circle is a collection of points that is equidistant from a certain point. This point that we are talking about is called the center, and the distance between the center to the point, to any point on the circle, is known as radius. We have infinite number of radiuses. So the singular is radius and the plural is radii. And any point on the circle, it can be also termed as any point on the circumference. Why? Because circumference is the perimeter of the circle. So the entire line that you form, this entire line that you are forming, this entire line is known as the circumference of the circle. Then we learned about the chord. The chord is what? It is the length between any two points on the circle. Then we have diameter. Diameter is the longest chord of the circle. It passes through the center of the circle, and there can be infinite number of diameters, and diameter is the only chord wherein all the diameters are going to be equal, unlike chords which may or may not be equal. And most important point is that the length of the diameter is twice that of the radius. Then coming back to arc, it is a piece of circle between any two points. Now these 2 points in the circle divide the circle into two types of arcs. One is the major arc and one is the minor arc. So the major arc is the larger piece of the circle between any 2 points, and vice versa, we have the smaller piece of circle between any 2 points is known as the minor arc. But if the endpoints of the arc lie on the diameters of the circle, are they actually the endpoints of the diameters of the circle, then you get 2 arcs that are equal to each other, and each arc is known as semicircle. So what are the 3 types of arcs that we have? Major arc, minor arc and semicircle. Then you have segment. The segment is the space between the chord as well and the circle. It is so we have 2 types of segments. One is the major segment and one is the minor segment. So the space that is made between the chord and the circle, that is small in area, that is known as the minor segment. And just like we have your arc, right? This is my chord out here. Just like I have PQ out here. PQ is my chord. So PRQ is my major arc and PQ is my minor arc, right? So this segment out here, just like this is the minor arc, this space out here is the minor segment, and just like this is the major arc, this space out here is the major segment. Then so now coming to sector. Sector is the region enclosed between two radii of the circle joined to endpoints of an arc. And then for the sectors we have the major sector and minor sector. And finally semicircle, if we have a sector in which the endpoints of the arc lie on the endpoints of the diameter, then we get two equal regions, and each equal region is known as the semicircular region. So this was about the circle and its related terms. This was the basic points that we need to learn about circles in order to get started with a full-fledged study about circles. So let's continue with the remaining topics in the next video. Thank you.
Hope this video increased your knowledge. For more such videos and a completely free educational content, log on to www.epathshala.org or visit our ePathshala YouTube channel. We have each and every question solved for maths, physics, chemistry and biology. So subscribe our channel, share with your friends, like our Facebook page and follow our Twitter handle for regular updates and important educational tips, and also win ePathshala goodies. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe this channel and enjoy the freedom of education.